Hello, my name is Joyce Makadangdang de Luna. So, for this video, we are going to report Module 9, Computer Abuses. So, what is computer abuses? Computer abuses, there are many reported cases of computer abuses. For our purposes, we have selected only some of the issues that are covered or classified under denial of service attacks. So, meron tayong ditong hacking, flamming, spamming, worms, and viruses, and internet hoaxes. So, mamaya, i-discuss ng mga ka-groupmate ko kung ano yung hacking, flamming, spamming, worms, and viruses, and internet hoaxes. Ethics deals with placing a value on acts according to whether they are good or bad. So, ang etika ay tumatalakay sa paglalagay ng halaga sa mga kilos ayon sa kung ito ay mabuti or masama. Ethics involves standards, values, morals, principles, and the like which are used as basic for one's decision or action. So, ginagamit din ito bilang batayan para sa mga desisyon. Often, there is no clear good or bad action. Every society has its rules about whether certain acts are ethical or not. These rules have been established as a result of consensus in society and are often written into laws. Hence, it is not surprising that an act that is considered ethical in one society is considered unethical in another. So, sa makatuwid, ito ay hindi nakakagulat na ang isang gawa ay tinuturing na etika sa isang lipunan ay sinalang-alang hindi sa etika ng iba. When computers first began to be used, there were no ethical relevant to it. So, nung unang nagsimulang gamitin ang computer, wala pang mga pamantayan or mga alalahanin sa paggamit ng computer. However, as the use of computers become widespread, computer ethics become a concern. So, nung lumaganap na ang paggamit ng computer, naging isang alalahanin na ito. As mentioned in an earlier module, computer ethics refers to the guiding precept and norms that are adopted and applied to regulate and control the use of computers and its application. Today, most of the rules on the ethical use of computers have already been formulated as laws. Computer crimes and computer frauds, for example, are common terms nowadays, and there are laws against them. In the Philippines, we have the e-commerce law that defines penalties for computer crimes, hacking, and computer fraud, among others. So, ang computer na kasi ngayon ay pwede ka nang mag-hack ng mga account, ganun, or mga banks. So, let's now discuss the different issues classified as computer of abuses. Denial of service. A denial of service attack is characterized by an explicit attempt by attackers to prevent or bar legitimate users of computers from availing themselves of computer services. Example of denial of service attacks are, so meron tayong ditong 4 na example sa denial of service attacks. So, number 1 is attempt to flood a network, thereby preventing legitimate network traffic. Number 2 is attempt to disrupt connections between two machines, thereby preventing access to a service. Number 3 is attempt to prevent a particular individual from accessing a service. And last, number 4 is attempt to disrupt service to specific system or person. Denial of service attacks come in a variety of forms and aim at a variety of services. There are basic types of attacks. So, number 1 is consumption of scarce, limited, or non-renewable resources. Number 2 is destruction, all alternation of configuration information. And number 3 is physical destruction, all alternation of network components.
Consumption of scarce resources. So, first is target network connectivity. So, sa part na ito is pwede mong limitahan kung sino lang yung gusto mong mag-connect. For example, is sa Wi-Fi. Kung gusto mong 3, then you need to put 3 gadgets only, the serial number. So, yung rest, hindi na makaka-connect kahit anong gusto nilang connect. Mag-error at mag-error na yun. So, sa consumption of scarce resources, sa target network connectivity, ang goal nito is to prevent the host to connect on your router. Second is the bandwidth consumption. Dito naman nakalagay yung mga connectivity or mga activity ng inyong router. For example is kung ilang data na yung nagamit ng inyong router, ng inyong wifi. So, kahit hindi naman sa wifi meron din ito sa ating mga mobile gadgets. Am I right? Meron ito sa bandwidth. Dun makikita yung usage. Halimbawa is yung mga bar graph. So, the date of April 14, 2022, you have 85% usage of data. So, that is the example of bandwidth consumption. So, dito naman tayo kay intruder. Ano nga ba si intruder? Unauthorized access. So, siya yung gustong mag-access sa inyong network without authorization. Ano nga bang role ni intruder? The role of intruder is to interrupt and gain control of your application or machine. So, dito na naman papasok si bandwidth consumption. Halimbawa is sa isang highway. Ang traffic, pag maluwag ang daanan, so hindi gaanong ma-traffic, walang gaanong matratrap ng mga sasakyan, diretso lang ang flow. Pero kung hindi naman maluwag ang daanan, is doon na nagko-cause ng traffic, which is syempre masikip na, diba? So hindi masyadong makadaan ng hindi masyadong makadaan ng mga sasakyan. Parang sa connectivity lang yun sa internet. Kapag walang mga nakaharang or walang ibang nakakonect sa inyong router, mabilis lang ang connection. Am I right? Kung tatlo lang kayong nakakonect sa inyong router, mapapabilis ang connection. Pero kung napakarami ninyong nakakonect at hindi nyo alam, dun na nagkakaroon ng problema, which is dun na mahina ang connection ninyo. Another computer abuse, destruction, or alteration of configuration. An improperly configured computer may not perform well or may not operate at all. So, an intruder may alter or destroy your configuration para hindi ka makakonect sa iyong computer or sa network mo. Bakit? Kasi napalitan niya na ang configuration information ng iyong computer. That's why, if you try to connect, doon na nagkakaproblema. Doon ka na nagiging disabled or unavailable connection. So, doon na papasok si improperly configured or not properly operate at all. Meron din tayong physical destruction or altercation of network components. The primary concern in this type of attack is physical security. So, hindi lang sa software nagkakaroon ng computer abuse. Maaari rin sa physical. Bakit sa physical? Ikaw, syempre hindi mo na maaaring ilagay yung computer sa mga tataong lugar, which is public. Am I right? Also, your router or your wifi, hindi mo siya maaaring ilagay na lang kung saan-saan. Hindi mo siya maaaring ilagay sa mababang lugar, sa mababang area, which is madali lang makuha or madali lang maabot. Lalong hindi mo siya maaaring ilagay sa labas ng gate ninyo or sa may pintuan na maaaring maabot agad ng mga ibang tao. So, that is also a hacking. Mahalaga rin ang ating physical security sa ating mga gamit. So, another computer abuse, hacking. So, in hacking involves unauthorized access to computer, its files, and programs. There are many reasons why hackers hack computers. Number one is theft of service. So, for example, a hacker can hack into a system to use the CPU for free. Why? Because it offers some types of service and the hacker has a use for it. That's why he will hack your system. Second one is take valuable files. Halimbawa ng mga valuable files, your credit numbers. So, if they hack your credit numbers, pwede nila itong ibenta. Yung mga impormasyon mo sa inyong credit numbers, maaari nila itong kunin at ibenta naman sa iba. So, silang makikinabang. So, the third one is vengeance and hatred. Halimbawa is, excuse me, a hacker may get into the homepage, the university that kicked him out, and they, deface the homepage. For the fourth one is the thrill and excitement. So, tayo 'di ba? Natutuwa tayo kapag nakakagawa tayo ng mga bagay na hindi natin inaasahan na wow, nakakabilib. Ganito pala 'yon, ganyan pala 'yon. So, sa hackers ganon. They feel the thrill, they feel the excitement to do for they are not being unauthorized. So the last is the knowledge and experimentations. So the hackers do what they do for the sake of knowledge and experimentation. Bakit? Kasi may natututunan sila sa ginagawa nila. Nakakapag-hack nga sila pero may natutunan naman sila. May natutunan nga sila, kawawa naman yung kanilang biktima. So, doon na sila natutuwa.
Hello, my name is Niljan Eslabres. So, for this video is we are going to report module 9 is computer abuses. Hackers Code of Ethics. Hackers Code of Ethics, unlike so many of the so-called hacker. Today, the original hacker at places like MIT, Berkeley, and Stanford had a clear Number 1. Do not internationally damage any system. Number 2. Do not alter any system files other than ones needed to ensure your escape from detection and your future access. Number 3. Do not leave your for anyone else real name and real handle or real phone number on any system that you access illegally. Number 4. Be careful who you share information with. Number 5. Do not leave your real phone number with any you do not know. 6. Do not hack government computers. Number 7. Don't use codes unless there is no way around it. If you use codes long enough, you will get caught. Number 8. Be paranoid. Remember, you are breaking the law. Number 9. Watch what you post on board. What is flamming? Flamming is a hostile online interaction that involves insulting message or flames between users. Flamming may occur in the context of internet forums, chat rooms, Usenet groups, social network, and the games lobbies where there is a mix of people with differing ideologies from different. Flamming. Flamming is the sending of abusive email or message to another people or new groups. You can flame people when you disrespect their opinion and attack them personally. Calling them names or questioning their parents' age. Flamming is considered poor online conduct and is not tolerated well in chat rooms or new groups. Other people in the chat room or new group can quickly turn on individuals who flame. It is best to practice good online conduct and avoid getting into personal confrontation with another people. Spamming. Spam, sometimes called unsolicited commercial email, is the internet version of junk mail. It is an attempt to deliver a message over the internet to someone who would not otherwise choose to receive it. Almost all spam in commercial advertising, scanning, and send creates potential target list position, stealing international mailing list, or searching the web of address. Automated search as used to revive email address for spamming. The low-cost email spamming engines of for sale with million for email address, coupled with the fact that the sender does not pay extra to use send email, has resulted in the explosive growth of junk email. Worm and virus. A virus is a program that reproduces its own code by attaching itself to other executable files in such a way that the virus's code is executed when the infected executable file is executed. A virus produced usually without your permission of knowledge. In general terms, a virus has an infection phase during which it produces widely and an attack phase during which it reproduces widely, and attack phase during which it does whatever damage is programmed to do.
Worm. A worm is a self-replicating program designed to spread across a network without requiring any outside actions to take place. The main difference between a worm and a virus it is that a virus relies on human actions, such as sending email or sharing files to copy itself from one computer to another, whereas a worm is able to do so independently, allowing it to spread much faster. Spreading viruses or worms is unethical. Some viruses can have destructive effects on affected individuals. A computer worm is standalone malware computer program that replicates itself in order to spread to other computers. It often uses a computer network to spread itself, relying on security failures on the target computer to access it. It will use this machine as a host to scan and infect other computers. Uh, Scan and infect other computers. An actual virus attack. On November 2, 1988, Robert Morris Jr., a graduate student in computer science at Cornell, wrote an experimental self-propagating program called worm and injected it into the internet. He chose to release it from MIT to disguise the fact that the worm came from Cornell. Morris soon discovered that the program was replicating and reinfecting machines at a much faster rate than he had anticipated. Ultimately, many machines at locations around the country either crash or become catatonic. When Morris realized what was happening, he contacted a friend at Harvard to discuss a solution. Eventually, They sent an anonymous message from Harvard over the network. Instructions programmers how to kill the worm and prevent reinfection. However, because the network route was clogged, this message did not get through until it was too late. Computers were affected at many sites, including universities, military sites, and medical research facilities. The estimated cost of dealing with the worm at each installation range from 200 to more than 53,000. An, an actual virus attack. Once a virus has successfully attached to a program, file or document, the virus will lie dormant until circumstances cause the computer or device to execute its code. In order for a virus to infect your computer, you have to run the infected program, which in turn causes the virus code to be executed. This means that a virus can remain dormant on your computer without showing major signs or symptoms. However, once the virus infects your computer, the virus can infect other computers to the same network. Stealing passwords or data, logging keystrokes, corrupting files, spamming your email contacts, and even taking over your machine are just some of the devastating and irritating things a virus can do. While some viruses can be playful in intent and effect, others can have profound and damaging effects. This includes erasing data or causing permanent damage to your hard disk. Worse yet, some viruses are designed with financial gains in mind. Thous- Thousands of universities and research computers were affected. Reports named the 20-year-old Cornell student as the author of a virus. Worms were not yet known. Robert Morris' friend said no, no malice was intended. The FBI upgraded the virus probe to a full criminal investigation. The government considered subpoenaing Cornell. The FBI began to consider a wide range of possible violations beyond the computer fraud the beyond the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1986. The Cornell the Cornell Commission found that Morris Worm was neither genius nor criminal. Cornell said that an ethics study is needed in computing. Morris was suspended from Cornell University. Morris was indicted for the Worm University. I sorry. Morris was indicted for the worm incident. Ple- Morris pleaded innocent to the case. Robert Morris was convicted of violating the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, Title 18, and sentenced to 3 years of the cost of his supervision. His appeal, filed in December 1990, was rejected the following March. Although the Robert Morris Jr. case is actually considered a computer crime, it is discussed here because one of the results of what he did is actually a computer abuse issue.
Internet hoaxes. So let us define what is internet hoaxes. First, we will define it word by word. So alam naman natin kung ano ang internet, in which it is a vast network that connects computers all over the world. Through the internet, people can share information and communicate from anywhere with an internet connection. So next word is hoaxes or hoax, in which it is means deception or malicious deception. Dito is gumagamit tayo ng illegal means to trick someone. So we will define internet hoaxes or net lore allied to be true are various sorts of misinformation spread on the internet. Among the junk mail and spam that fill our email boxes are the warnings about divesting new viruses, trojans that eat the heart of our system, and malicious software that will destroy everything you have in your hard disk. So, yun nga, ang Trojan is isa siyang program or piece of code that appears to the legitimate and safe, but it is actually malware. There are also messages about free money, children in trouble, and other items designed to grab you and get you to forward the message everyone you know. The message are hoaxes or chain letters. Internet hoaxes is also the form or chain letters in which it is message that attempts to convince the recipient to make a number of copies and pass them on to a certain number of recipients. While hoaxes do not automatically affect system like a virus of Trojan, they are time-consuming and costly to remove all the systems where they exist. So this is the example of internet hoaxes or scam. So balik tayo dito sa part ng letter in which hinihingi ng sender sa receiver yung kanyang bank account private information. Dito is pwede na natin ma-determine na that letter can be used for illegal actions. So kailangan alamin natin if yung natanggap natin na letter sa ating email is valid or legitimate. Consider the validity of a message before forwarding it to people. Internet hoaxes, usually virus alerts and chain letters, are designed to achieve worldwide distribution. The growing number of these messages is a major problem. The frequency of these letters annoys many people, often resulting in people ignoring valid warnings, multiplying as people forward them to other groups. Millions of bogus messages exceed the capacity of many mail servers. Steps you can take to discourage hoaxes or chain letters. Do not forward chain letters or suspicious warnings. Use recognized authority on viruses to keep informed free email alerts. Your preferred or designed support resources such as cooperate IT staff or ISP, Apple Product Security, CERT, Coordination Center, Linux Security, Microsoft Security, SANS, System Audit Network Security Institute, Semantic Security Response. Tip: allow people to receive their own virus alerts if people expressed on internet in security advisories. Refer them to the links above. Do not forward unsolicited alerts. Corporate IT staff, network administrators, may want to review virus alert message from questionable sources. Potential threats must be evaluated and bogus claim may be blocked at the mail view.